Today I'm going to show you how to make a super yummy basic vanilla cake. I have two 9-inch pans here and I flour them, and I put a piece of round parchment paper on the bottom. It's a little bit overkill, but it really makes sure that that cake comes out really nice and easy. In a large bowl, I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of butter, and this is softened. And next, let's add 1 3/4 cups of white granulated sugar. And we are gonna mix these together for about 2 to 3 minutes. And now let's add the 2 large eggs, room temperature eggs, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Give this a mix. All right, and then throughout this process, you'll want to scrape down the sides of that bowl just to make sure that you get everything mixed. Fantastic. I'm just gonna set this aside for 1 second here. And now I have 2.5 cups of flour. And now I'm going to add 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder to this and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We'll just give this a whisk. And you can use cake flour, which is preferred if you can find it, or all-purpose flour will work as well. And now to the main bowl of batter, I'm gonna add, about 1/2 of my milk. This is 1 1/4 cups of milk, and you can use whole milk, 2%, 1%. You can use almond milk as well. And I'm gonna just mix that in. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of this flour mixture. Let's add in the rest of this milk. And then a little more of that flour. Okay, just until that part is mixed, we want to be careful not to overmix the cake batter. So I'm going to scrape the sides of the bowl. Should feel like a really nice, fluffy batter, okay? I'll put the rest of this flour mixture in there. And we're just gonna fold it in the rest of the way. You can stir and fold. We're just not gonna use the mixer for the remainder part of this. All right, that is our vanilla cake batter. It comes together super easy and super quickly. Also, make sure to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 176 Celsius. And now I have one of these cake pans, and I'm just going to pour some of this in here, like so. Come to this other one and do the same. Trying to get as evenly in there as much as possible. Try to do evenly. You could use a measuring cup if you want to scoop this out. I normally don't go that precise, but you certainly can. And we'll just spread this out. Could also come in with an offset spatula and further smooth it out if you want. And we're gonna bake these for somewhere between 25 to 30 minutes until when you poke it with the toothpick comes out clean. On to that step. And when they come out of the oven, they will look something like this. Allow them to cool in their pans for 10 to 15 minutes. And then we can just remove them from the pan. Really should come out really easy. And then put it on a wire rack to cool the rest of the way. Like so. So now we're gonna let these cool to room temperature, and then we'll put them in the fridge for about a half hour before we frost it. Cakes really frost a lot better when they are cool. And then I have some frosting here. Homemade frosting is really easy to make. I'm just gonna put a little tiny bit of frosting right here. And that just kind of helps keep the cake to stick. And my cake has cooled. I'm just gonna remove this parchment paper. Put that right down in the middle. This layer did crack on me a little bit, but I'm not worried about it at all because it's gonna get some frosting on there, and I'm just going to give it some frosting. So there we go. And you can do as much or as little frosting as you want here on this. We'll put that layer right on top. And then we will do some more frosting. And I might need to make a little bit more frosting. We'll see where this gets me. And then I also want to do it on the sides here. So you can see how this turntable is really, really helpful. And then I'm going to just frost the top. Nice thin layer. And then you can come in with a damp paper towel and just clean up that base. Super nice. Vanilla cake, and then I'm going to put some chocolate sprinkles on there. And there we go, the easy basic vanilla cake is done. And now time to cut a slice of this. Look at that. Yummy. Take care. Time for me to dive into this cake. Oh yeah, yeah. Look at that. Yeah. Big bite. Mmm.